Okay, Year 12 Business Studies, Marketing Strategies and Price. In this clip, there's pricing methods and strategies. I'm not going to talk you through pricing methods. You're going to have to read that on your own, but I will talk you through strategies. Suffice to say, you need to know that there is a difference between them. Pricing methods, so that's just the basic price that a business sets, and they can use three different methods, so cost-based, market-based or competition-based. The ones that I'm going to talk about in more details is the pricing strategy. So this is the pricing that they actually set for their target market. So there's price skimming, price penetration, loss leader, and price points. Obviously, a good idea not to get those mixed up. Off we go. Okay, so here we have an overview about price. So price is the amount of money that a consumer is prepared to offer in exchange for a product. So that's the key word there, is exchange. A business, of course, will attempt to gain control over price by differentiating their product. Many businesses have difficulty selecting the correct price. Too high and you'll lose sales. Too low and you could suffer from the perception of that you're actually cheap and nasty and people will pass you by anyway. So getting it right is not that easy, but getting it wrong is quite easy. Clothes with designer labels like from Country Road, Sports Girl can set higher prices as their clothing is differentiated, so it's more upmarket. So that means, of course, they can set high prices, as we said, rather than clothing from Kmart or Target, which the positioning for them, of course, is not seen so high, so everyone expects the prices to be a lot lower. So setting the correct price, so here's the link, so setting the correct price is crucial to the marketing plan. Of course, this is where your money comes from. People buying things means that you get sales revenue. Prices can also be changed quickly though, so just remember, if you do get it wrong in the first instance, you can change prices around, and you can also change them quite often depending on what's happening in your external environment. Think about the next time you're down at your local shopping centre and have a look in a clothing store or shoe store, especially at the moment, end of June sales are on, so prices are changing quite quickly. So overview of price. Now I'm going to move on to pricing methods. Okay, so three pricing methods: cost-based, market-based and competition-based. And as I said, I'm going to let you read through these on your own because this will go forever if I talk about all of these. So I'm really just going to show you briefly, although that you go through all of them. So cost-based and market-based are on this page here. You can see cost-based and market-based, and then on the competition-based. So just make sure you read through and understand what they are, but they are the pricing methods. All right, let's move on to pricing strategies. Okay, pricing strategies. So there are four. There should have been a number one there. There we go, I'll put it in. Price skimming, price penetration, loss leader and price point. So once the basic price is being set, where they use the pricing method, then the business can fine-tune the price in line with whatever their strategy is. Of course, what they're trying to achieve. And remember, it's common for businesses to use several pricing strategies all at once, and you can modify your pricing strategy depending on what's happening in the external environment. All right, the first of the marketing pricing strategies is price skimming. There we go. This is when a business charges the highest possible price during the introduction stage of the product life cycle. Some consumers are willing to pay high price for novelty features or just have that prestige or status that being the first person brings with it. They're normally early adopters of things like technology. They fall into this category, and Apple is a good example for this. And it helps the business to recover the costs of their market research and development, and they want to recover that quickly before competitors enter the market. Okay, so this is usually something new. It's got some sort of features that nobody else has got, so they want to get in and strike early and get people to buy early, and they can usually price it whatever they want because there are no competitors at that stage if they've got something quite new and innovative. Apple uses this strategy with their new technology, maybe getting less useful for them now. Early adopters, they're called, the people who purchase first. They buy early because they must have it first. You know, those people that line up outside Apple because they must be first. But this strategy can backfire, and it did for Apple when they charged some of their early adopters, so the first purchasers, $800 for one of their phones, and then really quite soon after they dropped the price down to $600. So they had to reimburse some of those early adopters. They were quite angry about what had happened. So it can backfire, but all in all, it's quite a good strategy when you've got something that's new and unique. Okay, price penetration, the second of the pricing strategies. This is the absolute opposite to price skimming. This is now charging the lowest price that you possibly can. This strategy, of course, is to achieve a very large market share, and you want to get it usually quite quickly, and sometimes this is called a mass market pricing. The objective, of course, is to sell a large number of products during your early stages of the life cycle, and you will discourage competitors because they'll be thinking, well, I can't make much money out of that, so why bother? Qantas used this strategy for Jetstar, but of course it's hurting them because it's hard then to go back later on and put the prices up again. But it certainly bought them some market share in the early days. Of course, the disadvantage of this strategy is it's more difficult to raise prices than it is to lower them. Customers are used to your low prices, so what happens when you raise them? Okay, so I want you to have a think about what might happen to your customers. This pricing strategy is called loss leader, and this is when a product is sold at or below the cost price. Normally it'd be for a special promotion, and retail stores can sometimes sell a product at a loss. That should be there, by the way, at a loss. Business makes a loss on this product, but they hope that consumers will buy other products to make up for the loss. And a good case study for this is Woolworths or Coles when they had their milk and bread wars, and I think it was like $1 a litre for milk, so $3 for 3 litres. So they were losing money on that milk. Okay, but it didn't matter because no one ever goes to Woolies or Coles just to buy milk. They come out with lots of other things. And in fact, what they were doing was making up the cost with things like coffee and tea, because obviously that goes with the milk, and people who buy milk are going to sometimes buy the coffee and tea as well, and they certainly didn't reduce the prices on that, and in fact I think they actually increased them, so they didn't have any problems getting the money back, but it got people in the door. Qantas also used this strategy when it first launched Jetstar to gain market share and customer awareness, but as we saw before, it can actually hurt you in the long run, because bringing those prices back up again, especially for something like an airfare, can often be difficult. So the strategy can work if the business is overstocked, so way too much stock, if you want to increase traffic flow, so like Woolworths and Coles would have wanted to do, and if you want to build a reputation of low prices, and that would be something that Aldi would probably do. But the main problem with the strategy is if you do it incorrectly and they don't actually buy anything else and you don't get the money back, you can actually lose money. The last of the pricing strategies is price points. This is when you sell a product at a predetermined price. Predetermined just means you've worked it out ahead of time. This is how much this is going to be, this is how much this group's going to be, this is how much this group is going to be. Businesses choose a limited number of key prices or price points for selected product lines, and I've just given you some examples there. It could be 25, 50, 75. The pricing strategy is used mainly, my spelling's not very good, that should be mainly, mainly, by retailers, especially clothing stores and boutiques. And you would have seen yourself, there's racks outside, and the outside rack might be $25, and of course that gets you to start having a look, and then of course you wander inside and things are priced higher. And I've just given you that as an example. This strategy makes it easier for customers to find a product they need. If they think I only want to spend $25, I'm actually only going to look on this rack. I'm not going to look anywhere else. But obviously what the business hopes is that they can get you to trade up. Oh, you didn't find anything you wanted on the $25 rack. Come on inside where we have a $50 rack. Okay, so that's it for pricing strategies. Here's your little quiz question, and it's not even related to any of this. What team won on the weekend? What code do I follow? And it's got something to do with the colour red. See if you can work it out. See you. Bye.